Hey folks! In this video we're going to review the RIKON variable speed combination belt and disc sander that I got myself for Christmas. Price for these is currently hovering around $150-ish on Amazon, and there are cheaper belt sanders out there, but I wanted specifically the variable speed feature that this one offers. I have come to appreciate that on my power tools, so I splurged and got this fancy one. Miter gauge, manual, circular table, bits and pieces, and the rectangular table. And there it is. Ta-da! Alright, most of this stuff is pretty intuitive, but let's, as usual, take a look at the manual just so we say we looked at it. Alright, safety, packaging, assembly. Alrighty. Oh, there's schematics and everything. Nice. Alright, that is done. So, this thing goes here. This thing goes here. This, I'm assuming, goes with this, because this one has its own piece of hardware. Is this an adapter? Oh yes, let's see. Will it fit? No. So close. There's an adapter, so let's see what the adapter does. And still no. I have to make my own adapter. Alright, you can just assemble everything, but if you've seen my videos before, I like to open up things and see what is inside. And it appears there's one screw here and one here that hold this cover. This one is pretty tight. Does it have to come out all the way? Yes, it does. No? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes. I'm gonna go yes. And does this have to come out? Apparently it does. Alright, this is out. This also has to come out. And is there another screw? Oh, there's another one here. It's a lot of screws. That's annoying if you want to... Oh, there it goes. If you want to change belts fast, you have to take off a bunch of screws. Alright. It's just your standard belt sander assembly with 3 pulleys. And there's a tensioner here in the back. Let's put it back together. See how simple it is. I don't think I need it disassembled to put the other parts on. And that was it. And then there's this thing here. Alright, let's assemble it. Loud. There's a little channel here that these little nubs go in. So you put in, and then up. And we have washers and compression washers. So their marking for 0 is a little bit off. I just found something stupid here. This dust collection port, never mind it's not the size of my system here, because they never are, And they give you an adapter that I don't really know what it does because it just adapts it to the same size, more or less. But this one here is smaller. This is a different size than this. That's stupid. Who designed this? I had to make an adapter, and for that I turned to the ever-trusty PVC pipes. This one had been a piece of a Christmas decoration previously. Alright, that is in there, and there, perfect. There is a little adjustment screw here that you can set so it quickly returns to square once you move the table around. So let's do that. This adjustment lever here, it appears to be made of aluminum. I think it's a metal, which is great because usually these are made of plastic on other of these type of grinders that I've seen, and that plastic tends to break. So that's a good one. Alright, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. And here we go. It's not too terribly loud, I suppose. As it vibrates a little here, there. Doesn't vibrate too terribly much. See what it sounds at a higher speed. Scary at high speed. Now for this side of the machine, I don't have a proper adapter for my dust collection, so I'm gonna have to improvise. There, fabulous. And I paused the camera to set things up and didn't start recording again when I was doing the test, so you're going to have to just trust me, the disc sander works. So my initial thoughts on the RIKON Belt Sander. It works. It's not too terribly noisy also while it's working, and it doesn't vibrate itself apart or try to vibrate itself out of the surface you have it on. The Harbor Freight one, it will wander around whatever you have it on, so this is good, this stays put. The variable speed is interesting, but I have only used it so far on the lowest speed because the higher speed is frankly terrifying, and I'm not sure I need it, but I'm sure somebody out there will use it. I probably will use it in time, but the lowest speed so far is doing just fine for me. It has a third of a horsepower motor, and I think for what I do at least it's plenty. You need to let the machine do the work, you can't force whatever you're grinding through it. Then I actually tried to stall the motor a couple of times, and you can stall it if you push it against too hard, but let the machine do the work and it will not stall. So I'm going to find a place to put it, because that's always a problem in this workshop. I need to stop getting big power tools. And I'll get back on what I think about it in about a week or so. It's gonna be a week for me, a couple of seconds for you, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
3 weeks later.
So it's been a few weeks since I've had the RIKON 1x30 belt and a 6 inches disc variable speed sander. I had a brush of COVID, but I got better, so I got to finish trying this thing out, and I have to say, it's not every day that I get a tool that noticeably increases productivity in the workshop. And this, I have noticed increased productivity. There is no substitute for final finishing hand sanding, but when you have to do bulk stock removal, this thing does it, and I love it. I don't know how I lived for so long without this in the workshop. I had to do some extensive amount of plumbing in the back to connect to the dust removal system here in the workshop, and that brings us to my one and only complaint about this tool. This dust port is a different size from this dust port. This one is bigger, this one is smaller. And that is plain simply moronic. I don't know why they did it that way, but it's stupid and it consumed time. I had to make special adapters for this thing. Why? Why did they do it like that? Even the Harbor Freight one, both ports are the same size. So this makes no sense. So if dust extraction isn't that big of a concern to you, or you're not as obsessed with it as I am, and you can make or acquire adapters for these ports, I think this is a very good tool, a very good little belt sander. I would recommend it for anybody that is looking for a little belt sander, because I'm very happy with it. I never used much the disc sander on the other one that I have, I don't know why, but on this one I find myself using it. So maybe there's something about the whole tool being better that actually makes it more attractive to use the disc sander too. So I think it's a good tool, I'm happy with it. And if you have any questions, any comments, as always, please leave them below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.